Alright, what is up guys, welcome back to another video. We are just taking a quick look at today again at Verasity here, and as we can see, looking like it is doing quite well at the minute, isn't it, to be honest, overall. I mean, if we zoom out and take a look at the overall picture for Verasity here, over the past, year or two here, on the chart, on the daily time frame here, you can see obviously during the bull market, we had a very, very nice run up, all the way from down here at God knows how low we were at. What is this, a 0.00034 down at some of these lows here where we kind of formed a little bit of support. Chopping sideways for a good while, and then obviously once you broke this resistance here at around that 0.0015 of a cent level here, ran all the way up pretty much to 9 cents here, which is an absolutely ridiculous run up, isn't it, in the bull market. And then ever since then, really, Verasity has been descending down ever since it made this all-time high, making lower lows and lower highs overall. Obviously you can see it has been stuck under that bear market resistance for a good while here, and really it has just been continuously shedding value, just basically trickling to the downside. With the volume overall for the volume on KuCoin here, I think this is a KuCoin chart, as you can see up here. The volume has actually been, fairly consistent for Verasity. It's not actually dropped off like a lot of cryptos, really. You can see, really, since we've been going down here, there's been quite a lot of volume, to be honest, overall. But, as you can see here, when we were starting to kind of trickle down, maybe in a little bit of a descending wedge kind of formation like this, you could see the volume was starting to trickle off here, and obviously over the holiday period, the volume very, very low indeed, but just continuing to the downside in this like local consolidating descending wedge, which we saw for a lot of altcoins. And then quite clearly you can see here we came and broke out that local resistance, had a massive parabolic move to the upside. I mean, that is like an incredibly vertical move, especially considering this continuous kind of sideways and down that we've seen basically for the entire last year and a half for Verasity, apart from the last two or 3 weeks. And you can see here we broke out resistance, broke through this previous range, break out of this previous level of support here, which we thought would be flipped into resistance, but it's smashed through a whole bunch of levels here, hasn't it? We've obviously come up and broken through that bear market resistance as well. You can see it here cleanly being broken, along with this 0.23 Fibonacci level. I believe it's the 0.23. Let me just adjust my Fibonacci here so that I can actually see it, because it is dragged out pretty damn wide there, and I can't actually reference these whilst I'm looking at the chart. If I just drag that from obviously it's dragged from that bull market high down to this bear market low here, and you can see, let me just delete that line, we came up, we smashed through, coincided pretty much perfectly that bear market resistance and that 0.23 Fibonacci level, which are both very key levels here. And you can see we ran up pretty much to that next level that I did have marked out, which was this previous level of support here, flipped into resistance here, and you can see we actually came up, hit this, and at this level I did have a short position entered. It came down here, it came back up, and once it came back down again, I actually closed this short position here in profit. I thought we'd come and retest that 0.23 level, but it looked like, we were kind of coiling up in a formation like this, a bit of a flag type formation for Verasity, which was looking quite bullish. And even though we do have these bearish divergences that are forming on the RSI here, I did think we were probably going to get another leg up to come up to another resistance. So I closed this position down here once I started to see this massive rejection of the downside with this huge wick on this candle here. You can see it very clearly. And then you can see here, obviously we broke out of that flag and we ran up to the next resistance, which was that 0.38 Fibonacci level here. This is another place where I had a short placed. You can see we've got the doji here and a doji here, and looking like we might come back up and get a double test of this high and then a rejection, which is probably what's going to happen in my opinion. You can see here on the hourly time frame a bit more granular detail about what's going on there. We ran up to that level there, we got rejected, we came back down, retested that previous level of resistance as support. Interesting indeed. And now looking like we're basically coming back up like this to retest that level. I do think we'll probably get another retest here, and then maybe a rejection come down a bit lower. That would be my analysis. But overall for us, it's doing completely fine, isn't it? It's doing what it needs to do. Overall, I would say it's looking pretty damn bullish, to be honest, in comparison to a lot of cryptos, but obviously not out of the woods yet. And you could, realistically say that this could just be a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And even though we've come back up and made a higher high, we could still come down and make a lower low, depending on what Bitcoin does and the wider market. So we're not out of the woods yet, but for now, Verasity looking like it's doing what it needs to do, breaking out of bear market resistances and stuff. So it's interesting to see, you know, a little bit of bullishness in the market after such a long period of time, just heading down and down and down. So let's see what happens next. That would be our analysis for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching indeed. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.